Alright, what's up everybody? We're back again with the next episode of Gens of Yesterday. Last time, if y'all saw, it's on the YouTube right now, so there's always time to go back and rewatch it. We were with KSI Havoc 7 from DW, and we found out some information on him and his previous experiences at the general rank. So, we're gonna switch it up a little bit this week. And, please introduce yourself.
I was introducing myself? Alright.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. I don't know, Scars. Shit. Founder and EO. KSI Skarzx 77, I guess would be easier. My full gamer tag.
What about the X?
The X? Alright, let me explain something about the X. The X does not get pronounced. The X
What?
is there to establish the name. You do not pronounce the X at all. It's just Scars. Not Scars X, not Sharks, not Stars. It's Scars. Like a scar on your arm. I demand retribution. Same.
I feel it. Where are the questions? Alright, here we go. Wait, what? Alright, here we go. Alright. So, oh, we didn't start a game yet. That's whack. I just realized that.
Hey, I'm following your lead.
Alright, so, but what else do you do besides, founder and EO?
So I'm also a join and rejoin moderator. Just recently got added to the team. Part of the AAP staff. Co-head of productions. I guess I'm the division rep for CEP.
Ooh.
And I stream and play video games. I mean, and go to work.
Well, hell yeah. Alright, so,
Can't complain.
yeah. The first question we're gonna get into is, now when you were general, or even before, like, you had the 7-7 or 77, however you want to say it, what was your gamer tag?
Before the KSI, or when I first originally changed it to make it sergeant?
Yeah.
So before I joined KSI, I was...
No, wait. Oh, really?
Well, I just see the whole story. Yeah, before I joined Scars Oblivion, when I got promoted, when I changed my name to get promoted to sergeant, I became KSI Skarzx. So similar to what I have now, just without the 7.
Oh. Alright, let me see. I'm playing with Ash. Alright. Well, what squad were you general of?
I was general over Vendetta EO. It's kind of one of the older squads, but the predecessor disappeared, I guess would be the best way to put it. So there was a spot open.
Alrighty. So, in Vendetta, or, what really made you want to start to rank up in KSI? Was there any drive that you focused on most of the time?
What, when I made Gen, or to get to Gen?
Like, to get there.
I mean, alright, so when I changed my gamer tag, I wasn't really, like, so before I joined KSI, I was playing DC Universe. And I was in a group there. It wasn't a clan or a community, it was just literally like one of the guilds. Something you'd see in every multiplayer game. And it was rough. A lot of people in leadership positions, which it really wasn't. The guy that created the thing used to think he was better than everybody. So when I got approached about becoming an officer and all, like that's what I kept imagining, and I was like, I'm not really with that. I'm good. But honestly, I would say Guy, Grimshot, Ronin, for those who know who that is, KSI Guy, KSI Grimshot, KSI Ronin, 7-7. They kind of were always in my parties. I was always in their parties, listening, talking, asking questions. And Defiant, which is the squad I came from and I got recruited into, really needed officers. I think at the time they only had 2. Well, 3. They had a captain, a lieutenant, and Guy, I think, was becoming a staff sergeant, and they needed help. I had the time, I had the means. I figured, why not?
Well, yeah. I died. Rip.
Yeah, so did I.
Alright, well. So, like you talked about them before already, but, if you want to go back into more depth, who were, some leaders that you looked up to, like people that mentored you, that made you, like, who you are right now or when you were general? Like in KSI.
All right, so coming up as an officer, I mean, I would mainly attribute that to Guy and Ronan. Guy was always the guy like right above me. You know what I mean? Like when I became staff sergeant, he was a lieutenant. I became a lieutenant, he became a captain. You know, type deal. So I was always, you know, just following his lead, so to speak. Ronan was always there to tell me what I was doing wrong. And I would kind of, you know, pick his brain because I seen that the guy knew his stuff. He knew what he was doing. But as I got further, once I got to about the later end of my captain, going into Gen, Grim was always there. He was my general at the time. I mean, there's a lot of things. Echo, who was my former division leader. KSI Skarzx 77, who's my former founder, who's now my co-founder. They've all chipped in at some point in time. You know, just always trying to, you know, make sure that I knew so I could teach.
Barricade the room.
You know what I mean?
We need to protect the biohazard container.
So if I ever had a question, I mean, I had just abundance of people I could go to and get, you know, some answers. You know, so I had it kind of easy from a learning standpoint because these guys knew what they were doing, and it was just easy just to teach me.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely picked at Ronan's brain too. Pretty cool guy.
10 seconds.
So the next question is,
5 seconds
alright, so
left.
when you were general of Vendetta,
Op 4 has located the
were there
biohazard
any
container.
officers in there that you think you made a big impact on their KSI careers as a whole? Or like, you know, mentored them or anything?
Okay, so out of the squad that I ended up growing, unfortunately, majority of them didn't make it. They, you know, just didn't do anything afterwards, or just whatever the case was. It just ended up not working out. My highest ranked officer, my highest captain, he was he ended up becoming a 7.
Okay.
But he obviously left. I had a sergeant who ended up becoming another general. He ended up becoming like the 3rd general after me in Vendetta. Of course, he left also. I mean, it's a kind of a common theme, which is unfortunate. But aside from that, I mean, a lot of people have learned around me, but unfortunately, people didn't want to stay. So,
Alright.
One Op 4 remaining.
So,
going for the ace here.
Drone moving into scan. Starting time.
yeah, I died a while ago. I'm not that good at this game.
Op 4 is securing the container.
But, so yeah. What made being a general, like, in EO, like, what made it fun? Or what made you happy?
I got the ace. That's what made me happy.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Honestly, the ball was in my court. And I talked about this a couple times, you know, in terms of my desire to run a division. I always felt that when you grow a squad, no matter how many officers you have, it is the gen's responsibility. That squad dies on the gen. That squad succeeds It's on the gen. You know, and I love the idea that I can go into a game night with 10, 12, 13 people and realize that if it wasn't for something I did or something that I helped somebody else do, these people would never have played with each other. You know what I mean? And it's kind of the thing I feel like a lot of people just don't even realize, you know, when you recruit and you private train, that the impact you have on people is phenomenal.
They took Ash. I main Ash. I only play Ash. I only have attachments on her. But yeah, well, yeah, that's definitely something to always have. Now, were there any obstacles in the way? And if so, like, what were they? And what'd you have to do to overcome them?
Okay, so so we split Defiant. I wanted a new squad. You know, I wanted something brand new, my own stamp on it. Fortunately, we were told that we had to split into Vendetta because Vendetta lost its gen. The whole squad went to ruins. So I had to take 30, 35 people, I think it was, over, and I had to fluff 60 because they were like very, very inactive. I mean, I said maybe 4 or 5 fluff messages, and I was getting nothing but horrible. Can't even say it on stream. The responses I was getting from the thing, because people, I guess people, you know, either they liked the previous gen or they didn't know who I was. You know.
Yeah.
I maybe kept like 2 people out of the original Vendetta squad. But that was huge, man. I had to literally pull. I think I had 2 officers, 3 officers that I pulled over that eventually stepped down or got demoted. So I had to rebuild the whole entire staff from scratch. But, I mean, that was rough. And honestly, the game we're playing right here is the game that I actually grew Vendetta off of. And it was the first time we brought Vendetta to, or we brought Rainbow Six to EO, was in that Vendetta squad that I made, courtesy of Grim, because we were looking for a second game type, and Grimshot introduced everybody to, hey, why don't we play some Rainbow Six Siege? Well, after I seen that, I want to make that into a squad. You know?
Yeah.
So, but my problem was, I wasn't good at Siege. You know, I was not good early. You know, you can't grow a squad on a game that you are not good at.
Right.
Kevin got me. So, yeah, I had to learn how to play on the fly. You know, obviously, recruiting, get people to recruit. It was rough, man. Then you go through that period, just hang everybody together on the same page. You're trying to teach a whole new staff, education. You know, problem is we grew a little too fast. Once I got recruiters online and we were growing, grew up and split within like 5 to 6 weeks.
Op 4 eliminated all friendly.
Which I don't regret it, but obviously looking back now, I'm like, I probably should have done something different. This is that. But the problem was the officers that I had, they worked for me. They did what I needed them to do with me at the helm. Fortunately, it wasn't the case with somebody else at the helm.
Oh.
You know, for whatever the case may be. Maybe I was too strict, or I curved their mentality a certain way. However the case may be, you know. If I told these guys to go host game nights, they could pull 15 people out. You know, they might not have been the greatest recruiter. One might not have been the greatest, you know, at doing the clerical side of things, but they each had something that I could use to grow the squad.
Right.
You know, I've had 15 to 20 people game nights because of these people, because people wanted to play with these guys. You know, I acknowledge that. I used that. It worked.
The room. We need to protect the biohazard
but
container.
Fortunately, it wasn't what they needed, what they wanted to do in the long term.
ADS deployed and
Oh yeah, so you definitely did have a lot of obstacles. So let's go on to the brighter moments. Like, do you have any like fun things, or not fun things, but like what was like if you could think about it, what was like the most interesting thing that really happened when you were General of Vendetta? Like, what are some like stories that you can think back on and share today?
Okay. So for anybody that plays Rainbow Six Siege, there's a game mode called Jason, Michael Myers, whatever you want to call it. It was a game that we had a lot of fun with. It was really dope. You know, there's an aspect of the game that if you were to actually use so basically you play as Sledge and you chase people with the sledgehammer and kill them. We found out through trial and error that if you hold the shield up in front of the sledgehammer, it can't kill you. So we did this thing called hold the line, and we'd go into like a narrow hallway and just keep facing them holding the shield up and tell people they can run. And it was hilarious. You know, I mean, and then we did games like Murdered, which actually, I mean, if you go back on the YouTube, there's actually some game nights I have from Vendetta. To actually test exactly what I'm talking about, if you go on the YouTube, KSI, it's called like Vendetta Sledge Night. Because like I said, I was very big on game nights. Was something I always loved to do. You know, but every game I had something different. You know, and I'd be damned if I didn't have a new game mode to play. You know, every time we did something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. A lot of things. I had people that, had fun. You know, they started the day off. They were having a bad time, and they ended up having fun with it. You know, which was dope. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. A lot of things that happened. It was just bullshitting around and parties. Having a good time, talking, busting it up. The best memories, though, honestly, were starting out was fire when we were on like recruiting sprees, 10, 12 people, bringing everybody in. I was having the game nights. The troll promotions I was doing to people with my officers. Tell them, hey, we're gonna remove you for hanging out with TSB or GRM. And they're like, no, it wasn't me. No, sorry, dude, we gotta let you go. You can put in an ad for 30 days to appeal, and they were like, they were getting like real upset. Then I'm like, change your location in bio. They're like, all right, what do I change it to? All right, now you're second lieutenant. What?
All right.
There's always that pause.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my favorite part of Gen is troll promoting. I am sorry, that is the bread and butter of VO. Is we troll promote everybody.
Yeah, I love being in those situations.
Case in point, real quick before we move on to the next question. KSI Bloody Knight was promoted to the Gen of Talon, which is another EO squad. His promotion was done by Ronan, who told him he was being removed from KSI.
Locate the biohazard container.
For whatever the case was. He's being real serious about it, like real calm. He goes, we were upset. This guy was the guy leading our division. We felt the reason that he gave us was BS. We couldn't believe it, but it's not something that couldn't happen. Yeah. And he was like, my last order of business, before I go, is to make Bloody the new Gen of Talent. And like people were just like, holy shit.
Well done. Biohazard container located.
But it was a good time, man.
Yeah.
5 seconds to insertion.
Rip to Bloody.
Biohazard container located. Proceed to its location.
Bloody.
Yeah, sounds dope. Alright, so any more?
I'm always off the top of my head. Not one I can specifically remember. Obviously, I mean, all the troll promotions were just classic. Game nights, like I said. Splitting the squad was fun. People were excited. kind of backfired though. We had to grow a Destiny 2 squad, and that kind of flopped.
Yeah.
Not the game, just how we did it. But no, that's about it.
So this is a question that is off topic, and I just came up with out of the blue. Now you said you were co-head of productions. When did that happen?
Okay, so this is where it kind of got a little weird. I made co-head of productions while still being Gen of Vendetta.
Alright.
Now, when I recruit people, when I go through the rank staff, I tell them, you know, this is what the Gen is. Above them is the 7 staff, upper leadership, members with KSI in their game tag, and the number 7s. And one of the recruits asked me, well, he asked me did I get demoted because I fit that bill with my gamer tag. Because once I made co-head, Gary, Greg, and them pulled me in the party and said you can change your gamer tag to add 7s in it because co-head is the equivalent. I was like, cool, it's dope. So what I did, it kind of threw people off some way because I'm a 7, but I'm not a 7 type deal.
Yeah.
It was a real weird situation. It wasn't until I actually made co-founder that I was like, good, now my gamer tag is normal. I don't have to change it for anything.
So,
yeah, apparently it was something they haven't done in a long time. You know, so that's honestly all on Gary.
Oh yeah. Well, alright, so you said you were co-head of productions when you were also general. How did you balance the two, like department wise and clan ops wise?
Okay, so when I would log on, it's no different than I do today. When I get home from work, I'm a recruit tag holder. First thing I do is go on the recruit tag.
Yeah.
So before I even hop on my profile and everybody sees me on my recruit tag, I do that part. When that's done, I hop on the forums. I check my join area, rejoin apps. I check my AP section, any messages I may have, and then I check the discords. Basically, for me, it's the Discord is a lifesaver. So I'm saying that bar none. I hate a lot of things about it. I love everything else about it. The fact I get notifications when people post in there. You know, I'm looking through the thing. You know, people always tag me. Honestly, it's just finding. You know, it's all right. So let's say I have 3 hours that day, right?
Yeah.
It's breaking it up. You can do a lot of things and still play a video game. I don't know where the mentality some people have to where you can't do both, but you damn well could. I can play a Smite game and hold a workshop. Not saying I do. When I host workshops, I'm hosting and I'm not playing anything, but I could. It's just something I'm able to do. But for you guys in productions, it's all about your team.
Right.
Time management is really key with the team because if I have to ask all the time when streams are going to happen, if I have to remind people of their stream times and all this and that and do this and that, yeah, it might be a little hard. I don't have to do that. In clan ops, you know, if I have a staff that knows when people need to get private training and corp promoted and whatnot, I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all goes to that team aspect that I don't have to. You know, I have people behind me. And, you know, you designate a couple things. You know, this is that. You know, you try to take too much on the best of your ability.
Alright, so it's all about the team.
Alright, now if you don't have a team in place, honestly, take 5 seconds out of your day, write out what would be a simple schedule for you, prioritize things, and make it work.
Oh yeah. So it wasn't hard maintaining both of them, like being a general and co-ed.
I wouldn't say it wasn't hard because at the time I was still actively streaming. It could have been. It could have been a lot harder. Because by the time I made co-head, I was already had a pretty decent, had a pretty big staff. I think I was at like 8 or 9 officers. Um, the squad kind of knew me. They kind of knew what I needed done, like in terms of workshops and game nights. That was always able to be hosted. Um, it could have been a lot worse. If I was a Jan over a squad that had like 2 officers that was hurting, my time might have been more shrewd. But
Secure the room.
you play it out.
Protect
You
the
know what I mean?
biohazard container.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in production's case, let's say I need a stream to happen tonight, but I also need to host a game night. What do? I combine them.
Op 4 located the biohazard
We're not gonna
container.
have both. You know.
All right then.
But it was interesting. I'll tell you that much.
All right then. So the next question, and this is our last question. So,
5 seconds left.
all right. So you've been there. You've seen that. You're a founder now.
Op 4 has located
What
the
would you say
biohazard
to
container.
somebody who is all right? So say they're a captain, and they're close, or even a lieutenant, or even any officer rank, and they want to become a general. What advice would you give them?
Take your time, and you're gonna make some mistakes. There may come a time where everything's just spiraling out of control, and you're kind of at loss, and it becomes too much. Take a breath, slow it down. It's all gonna work itself out eventually, as long as you're putting the effort and the time, and you know people know they can count on you to do the little things. You know, like sending squad time. As long as you're forming a squad. You're that, you know, you find your go-to right-hand man that can back your play every step of the way. You know, everything will work itself out. You know, there's no reason. Don't do it too fast, but don't keep putting things off till tomorrow. Don't procrastinate. You know what I mean? Find your healthy balance. And honestly, you have a co-founder. Use them. Don't abuse them, but use them. You know, if you need help hosting something, I help. A lot of my squads host. You know, I'm always available if they need me. You know, in whatever capacity that they need me in.
All right. So you know,
Op 4
all y'all
eliminated.
viewers
Mission
out there, y'all
successful.
heard it from the man himself, Mr. Skarzx. You know, give it up for him. It was a great
I
show
only clapped
tonight.
myself.
I'll clap too. Alright, so yeah. That's it for today. The next Gens of Yesterday we have planned for now is on the 31st with DW's KSI King 77. He stole the 77.
Let's go, King!
Yeah. So tune in on the 31st of May, same time, same channel. And y'all take care. Thanks for
Deuce.
tuning in. Bane is out. And so is Scar.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't do Dana's out.
who's...
I do that. Don't do that.
Wait, but you're not even Bane.